Well, one man is helping the Kansas City community receive their COVID-19 vaccine through social media. 41 Action News reporter Jordan Betts live with a Twitter account that you need to be following. And Jordan, this is so important information for all of us.
And it's a genius idea. If you do have Twitter, you're going to want to follow this account if you are eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine. It's called KC Vaccine Watch. It was started just a few days ago in hopes to help people get the COVID-19 vaccine, and it lets people know that there are appointments in the area simply by a tweet. And just how it was started a few days ago, it has almost 6,000 followers, and it's obviously a hit. A local software engineer created this past week. He calls it a Twitter bot. It automatically tweets out locations where vaccine appointments are available, so people can grab appointments as soon as they can if they are eligible. Since it started, we have heard from several people who saw the account, followed it, and were able to get their first dose.
My supervisor had emailed everyone saying, "Hey, I just followed a Twitter account called KC Vaccine Watch, and they just posted about like a vaccine that's available until 3:30 at the Garrison Community Center.
I'm going to be able to see my grandkids more now, and I have freedom to see my friends that I haven't hugged them in a long time."
Well, she'll be happy to see her friends again. The creator says he's happy to be able to help people get the vaccine because that was his main goal. Bryant.
Now, Jordan, you just spoke with the creator about the pharmacies that they're using, right?
Yes, I just got an update from him. He let me know that he did before just have kind of Hy-Vee on his account, but Price Chopper was added overnight. And if you are looking at your screen right now, there are vaccine appointments available at the Price Chopper number 171 in Lee Summit. And I haven't seen where it usually says that all the appointments are taken. I haven't seen an update yet, and that was 25 minutes ago. So I want to go give that a follow, Bryant.
All right, good update. Thank you, Jordan. Wyandotte County accepts walk-ins for anyone age 85 and older. Now, this is only for people who live in Wyandotte County. Keep that in mind. There are two locations. One is the former Best Buy on Parallel Parkway. The other is the former Kmart on State Avenue. You will need to bring something to show that you live in the county, such as your age and also your address. Well, Heart to Heart is postponing today's vaccination clinic. It planned to vaccinate people at the homeless shelter in Bartle Hall. Once again, that event has been postponed. Now, we have a list of resources to help you sign up for the vaccine on our website, kshb.com. It's all broken down by where you live. Just click on Coronavirus in KC at the top of our homepage. 7:06 in other news this morning. Les Miles, the head football coach at the University of Kansas, is on administrative leave after allegations surfaced of inappropriate conduct toward female student employees while he coached at LSU. The alleged incidents happened before his time at KU and were released in two reports this week. KU's athletic director Jeff Long announced the leave last night, stating the reports are the first time they've seen this information, and now they want to do their own investigation. In a statement, athletic director Jeff Long wrote, quote, "Even though the allegations against him occurred at LSU, we take these matters very seriously at KU. Now that we have access to this information, we will take the coming days to fully review the material and to see if any additional information is available. I do not want to speculate on a timeline for our review because it is imperative we do our due diligence. We will be able to comment further once our review is complete." End of quote. Les Miles was hired in 2018 after retiring from coaching following a stint at LSU. According to his contract, his average salary is around $2.7 million annually. But Miles also received a $225,000 retention bonus back in November. In his contract, there is language allowing the university to terminate him for just cause. Now, 41 Action News obtained documents from Thursday's report on the investigation. One student alleged that she was subjected to unwanted advances, including 2 kisses and the suggestion that she meet Miles at a hotel or his condo. Miles denied the allegations, but he agreed to cease all personal contact with student employees and undergo employment counseling. In a report released on Friday, we learned that the former LSU athletic director recommended Miles be fired in 2013 after he was accused of exhibiting poor judgment in his relationship with student employees. Coming up, curbside orders of alcohol became common last year, but that could soon change. Why? Some want to make sure this trend doesn't go anywhere.
We'll be warming up into the 60s today, abundant sunshine, more nice weather. But we do have some changes to talk about. We'll have the new data coming up.
You're watching 41 Action News.
It started off as a way to help restaurants rebound, but now there's a push to make curbside cocktails a permanent option in Kansas. The special rule allowing the sales of to-go liquor is set to expire at the end of the month.
It definitely has helped us keep our business going and keep our clientele and keep our customers happy and, and giving people the opportunity to support us.
Kansas House lawmakers already passed a plan making to-go sales permanent. It will now be discussed in the Senate. In Missouri, lawmakers are also advancing a similar bill. Under this legislation, restaurants would need to put mixed drinks in tamper-proof sealed containers. Customers would also have to buy food along with the alcohol. Giving back after an act of hate. Now, one woman is helping others feel safe in Kansas City.
Here's Kansas City's most accurate forecast from meteorologist Jeff Penner.
Good Saturday morning. The allergy report is pretty good right now. It's early March. It was so cold in February. There isn't much coming out right now. And that's good because this is awfully early because we're not quite done with freezes. We may not even be done with snowflakes. So it is early March and pollen is low, but tree is the main one, maple and juniper. Got a cloud in the sky right now on our Bordner Home Improvement Skyway Network. It's 36 degrees. A few locations are getting a light freeze. South wind at 8 miles per hour. And a storm system yesterday came out of Kansas and then dropped straight south. So all we got were clouds and a few sprinkly light rain showers. And there's a little weather system to our east dropping south. Some clouds in eastern Missouri, but not a cloud in the sky here. We're basically underneath a big upper level ridge. Ridges usually mean dry weather and above average temperatures at all times of the year. And there's a storm in the Gulf of Alaska. This is the beginning of a change. So let's go through this here on our upper level flow. You can see this is the graphical version of what I just showed you, the satellite. There's the storm. Here is the ridge. And this ridge will be with us today and tomorrow and even into Monday as well as that storm just starts to edge onto the west coast. The ridge will shift off to the east. Tuesday and Wednesday will still have an influence from it. Then the ridge goes down into the southeast, becomes a much stronger ridge, even an upper level high. Those can bring heat wave conditions during the summer, but that's off to the southeast. Storm in the Gulf of Alaska drops in and out into the plains as colder air comes south, and so that sets up the chance for widespread precipitation of all types across the middle part of the country. So let's go through this here day by day. No precipitation today, about 65 to 67 degrees, close to 70 on Sunday. The wind will pick up on Sunday, but it'll be dry. Monday, also around 70 degrees and also windy. And on Tuesday, we'll start to see a little bit of a change. May stay in the 60s with thicker clouds because Gulf of Mexico moisture is increasing and it'll still be dry. Look at that, near 90 out in western Kansas. And remember this, near 90 on Tuesday in western Kansas when I go into Thursday and Friday. So on Wednesday, it'll be mostly dry, but we have a cold front, a warm front, 60s and 70s to the east, 30s and 40s to the north. And some thunderstorms could form here. There is a chance of some severe weather. It's not the most perfect setup for it, but Wednesday night and into Thursday, there is a chance. And you can see this line of thunderstorms forms. We could get some much needed rain. We're going to need the rain by this time after all these windy days coming up. And then the front will move through on Thursday. Colder air will come in. The best chance of rain will be to our south. But again, the exact details and timing and location is still not set yet. But this is the front, and it's moved south and then stalls as the storm system comes in from the west. The rain moves back north, and yes, snow all the way back into western Kansas on Friday, where it was 90, possibly close to 90 on Tuesday. So a very interesting setup for a week from now, Friday into Saturday. Rain, some thunderstorms, colder, and some snow, most likely to our north, but we'll see. Keep an eye on this. Exact details are not set yet. But today, we're pretty confident. 67 degrees. Great weather. South winds 5 to 15. 69 tonight after a low of 41. Wind will pick up on 69 on Sunday after a low of 41. Getting a little windy Sunday. 70 windy on Monday. Some periods of high clouds. And then on the 7-day forecast, we are looking at windy conditions and then the changes later Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday.
Thank you, Jeff. Imagine losing the love of your life to a hate crime. That's exactly what happened to one Metro woman. But as 41 Action News anchor Cynthia Newsom shows us, she's using her sorrow to help others.
It is a powerful love story of how love interrupted by murder is fueling a new dream called Forever Welcome. There is no denying it. Just look at the pictures. They tell the whole story. Sunaina and Srinu Kuchibhotla were head over heels in love. The happy couple from India had it all, with a fairy tale marriage, good friends, and good jobs living in Olathe, until that tragic day 4 years ago at Austin's Bar and Grill when a man yelled racist remarks at Srinu and then shot and killed him. It was a defining moment for Srinu's grieving widow, Sunaina.
4 years ago, when the incident happened, I raised a question, do we belong? And the answer to which was, yes, I do. The community at large and helped me in finding that answer. The way they supported myself, my family, and everybody by providing, by the outpour of love and care that was shown towards us to say that you do belong here. This is very much your home. I wanted to give this message back, and also the desire and the urge to keep Srinu alive and to be able to continue his legacy was also so deep inside myself that I cannot let people forget him.
So Sunaina started a nonprofit called Forever Welcome to make immigrants in the Kansas City area feel like they belong. And this Saturday, Forever Welcome is hosting a refugee supply drive benefiting the nonprofit KC for Refugees. Sunaina is asking people to donate personal care products or make a $40 donation to sponsor a welcome bag. You can bring your donation to 8006 Mullen Road in Lenexa, Kansas. And this is the GoFundMe page if you just want to give cash. Now, Srinu would have turned 37 years old this month, and Sunaina said celebrating his life is the perfect way to kick off Forever Welcome. Cynthia Newsom, 41 Action News.
Stories like that are the kinds of stories that we want to share with you. If you know about something positive happening in our community, send us a photo or video using the hashtag WeSeeYouKSHB. Getting the most from vaccines, how clinics are making sure no doses go to waste, and the discussion over when children might be able to get a COVID vaccine.
Hi, I'm Toby Tobin. Believe it or not, spring will eventually get here. Coming up, let's get growing. Hi, I'm Toby Tobin. I am so tired of being cooped up, all this snow and sand. Let's do spring a little early. I think it is safe to say that we're all ready for spring to be here soon. It won't be long before we're firing up the grill and putting those snow shovels away. You can actually bring spring a little early by getting some of your garden planted indoors now. It's easy, and even if you don't have a green thumb, we can help you get some herbs and vegetables started that the whole family will enjoy. These seed starter kits are under $100 and have everything you need to start herbs, tomatoes, peppers, and everything in your kitchen. Plus, if you don't have a place with a lot of sunshine, no worries. They contain a grow light that will give those young plants consistent warmth and light, so even the most challenged gardeners can get it right. Go to your local nursery or online seed catalog company and pick out some of your favorites. Whether it's basil, peppers, oregano, or heirloom tomatoes, you can get them started and grow your very own starter garden right on your kitchen counter. Plus, just getting some plants growing will give your senses a boost of spring. For vegetables like tomatoes and peppers, you'll want to back time about 6 weeks prior to moving the plants outdoors. So those seeds should be started around mid-March to make sure it will be warm enough outside in May to move your garden outdoors. If you want to keep things really simple, you can transfer the seeds to containers and move them out on your patio or build one of these simple raised garden beds to grow some of your favorites all season long. Before you know it, you'll be ready to have fresh salads and great veggies to toss on the grill in just a couple of months. If you've been thinking about raised garden beds, we've got all the plans on the website. It's easy, it's a lot of fun, it's not that expensive. That's it. Have a great week.
You're watching 41 Action News.
Almost 7:30. Welcome back to 41 Action News on this Saturday morning. I'm Brian Madrick, meteorologist Jeff Penner also here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Brian. And we're looking at some great weather. Not a cloud in the sky here on this Saturday, March 6th. And it is a little chilly out there right now, 36 degrees. There's not much wind, 26 in Lawrence. thermometer there in a lower area. We're going to add about 30 degrees to these temperatures. And so it is going to be a nice day with not much wind and no clouds. The weather pattern across the United States is very quiet. The storm system we had yesterday is now in the northern Gulf of Mexico. It dropped straight south and moving east. A few clouds in eastern Missouri, but overall a calm weather pattern for now. That is going to change in about 5 days. So enjoy this great weather. 67 degrees, abundant sunshine, not much wind today. The winds pick up on Sunday. We'll go into the week ahead and take a look at some of these changes with the new data coming up.
The trial for a man accused of killing two women nearly 10 years apart will go on. The judge ruled against a motion to dismiss the case against Kyler Yost. Yost is accused of killing Kara Kopetsky and Jessica Runyons. An expert for the defense testified the law enforcement investigation was done poorly. The judge ruled the trial will go on despite that testimony. Jury selection is set to begin March 29th in St. Charles County, Missouri. The trial will start April 5th. All right, Justin, Kansas City police need your help to find this woman. Samantha Bonin was last seen yesterday near 34th and College Avenue. She's 28 and 5 feet tall. She was last seen wearing these clothes. She has a medical condition and needs medication. If you see her, call police. As vaccinations ramp up across the country, so do the number of spoiled vaccine doses. It can happen when mass vaccination sites have more doses than people, or there's a problem with the shot. Missouri Governor Mike Parson says he takes responsibility for the latest incident. More than 150 doses were wasted, the majority in Putnam County.
I got to own Putnam County. What happened up there? It should never happened. Just that simple. It shouldn't happen. We got to fix it. We got to make sure we're doing a better job than what we did up there. We never want that situation to happen.
Well, we wanted to know how prevalent is this issue and what local clinics are doing to make sure it doesn't happen here. 41 Action News reporter Nick Starling dives into the numbers.
We're elated. It's just thrilling. It's such a weight off your shoulders.
It's a relief for Ann Pracknell and her husband Tyler receiving their first dose of the Moderna vaccine during a mass vaccination clinic in Kansas City.
I know this doesn't mean everything opens back up to us, but it does at least again give you some hope that one of these days very shortly we'll be back to a little bit of normal.
There was space for 700 people to get a shot. Only about 425 showed up. But at this site, the vaccine that wasn't used will go into arms another day.
We're hoping to use up the rest of the vaccine that we didn't use today next week. It's all maintained at the right temperatures, and we can take it back to our facility, keep it there until next week.
But that's not the case everywhere. During a February 27th mass vaccination clinic in Putnam County, Missouri, located in the state's northeast corner, 143 doses were thrown out. According to the county's health department, it was due to a variety of reasons, including not all vials rendered 6 doses, the no-shows, and duplicate appointments, stating once a vial is diluted, it must be used within 6 hours. This was one of 28 mass vaccination clinics put on by the state between February 22nd and the 27th. We did some digging to find out if more doses were thrown out during that time frame. We discovered more than 47,000 doses were given out. Over 7,000 doses were sent to other clinics, and 152 doses were thrown out, with the majority being in Putnam County. Now, as more clinics open up, coordinators say this is a lesson they have taken to heart.
We're very careful to make sure that we don't waste any vaccines. We've done over 1,000 vaccines at this point and really haven't had any wasted.
Good news for those ready to roll up their sleeves.
You see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Reporting in Kansas City, Nick Starling, 41 Action News.
We also looked into the number of vaccines thrown out in Kansas. According to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, between December 21st and March 3rd, there have been 352 doses that have been deemed wasted for reasons such as being expired before use, shortages in the vials, or broken syringes. Now, if you have the Twitter account, you want to follow one account that is really important when it comes to vaccines, and also keep your notifications on. One man created the account to help you find a COVID-19 vaccination site, and reporter Jordan Betts spoke with the man behind it all. Jordan, tell us more.
Hey, good morning. If you have Twitter, you're going to want to follow this account. It's called KC Vaccine Watch. It was started just a few days ago. It already has more than 5,700 followers. And what it does, it live tweets when it finds vaccination appointments here in Missouri. Right now, it's set for Hy-Vee and Price Chopper. And you can see it goes quickly. Within 55 minutes, it said that the vaccine appointments are available in Price Chopper. 7 minutes ago, The vaccines are no longer available, but this is helping people get the vaccine here in the city. I spoke to several people who said that they were able to get an appointment because they saw this account, followed it, signed up for the alerts. Ding, when it hit, they were able to sign up for an appointment. I spoke with the local software engineer who started it. He says he's overwhelmed with joy and how this is changing people's lives.
I think a lot of people were experiencing confusion or frustration because they didn't know where they're going to get their vaccines. Anything I can do to help make that clear, I'm glad to help with.
Yeah, and he worked overnight to add Price Choppers. You'll see a lot of Hy-Vee and Price Choppers, so don't forget to sign up for the alerts. Just a few minutes ago, the Kansas City, Missouri Mayor Quinton Lucas quote retweeted something I tweeted out earlier about this story, and he said, "Remind me why the state is paying D.C. Metro-based consultants to organize our vaccine rollout when we could just pay Patrick, who is the creator you just heard of, instead, who here on Twitter has given Missourians the one thing they can clamor for, clarity on an easy-to-use platform, helping them make their family safe." Back to you, Bryant.
Very interesting developments. We'll keep an eye on all. Thank you very much, Jordan. Okay, well, CNN analysis now says that we could reach herd immunity by the summer. Federal data shows that the pace of vaccinations is picking up. Experts generally agree that somewhere between 70 and 85% of the population must be protected to suppress the spread, a range that Dr. Anthony Fauci recently cited. At the current pace, 70% of Americans could be fully vaccinated around the end of July and 85% by mid-September. Herd immunity could likely be reached even sooner if you factor in those individuals who may have some immunity due to prior infection. Right now, the 3 COVID-19 vaccines on the U.S. market are for adults. You must be 18 or older to get the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines, and 16 or older for the vaccine made by Pfizer. But clinical trials are underway for younger children. Mandy Gaither has more on when we may see vaccines available to them.
3 COVID-19 vaccines, millions of doses going into the arms of Americans. But these shots are not yet authorized for children.
Right now, we project that the clinical trials will give us information that by the time we get to the fall, that high school students will be able to be vaccinated.
Johnson & Johnson announced its plans to study their vaccine in adolescents, children who have a very low chance of becoming severely ill from COVID-19 were not part of the initial tests in the rapid approval process of the vaccines. The company's CEO says it will begin testing in people ages 12 to 18 and go down from there, and says Johnson & Johnson is likely to have a COVID-19 vaccine available for those under 18 by September. Both Pfizer and Moderna are already undergoing clinical trials studying their vaccines in adolescents. Moderna planning to study the vaccine in children 6 months to 11 years and what it called the near term. Pfizer says it's expecting to start vaccine studies in children ages 5 to 11 in the next couple of months.
Children who are elementary school, 6 to 12, that group of individuals, those individuals likely will not be able to get vaccinated until their trials are finished, which will likely be at the earliest, the end of this year.
In a recent letter to the White House, the American Academy of Pediatrics is urging the Biden administration to prioritize vaccine authorization for youth, saying we cannot allow children to be an afterthought when they have shared so much burden throughout this pandemic. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The vaccines are also being studied for use in pregnant women. Last week, Dr. Anthony Fauci said so far no red flags have been seen in pregnant women who have been vaccinated for COVID-19. And data from a new clinical trial will help provide more clarity.
The last 30 days, it's drying out. We've only had 36% of average rainfall around here, 19% out in Salina. So we could use some precipitation. There's no chance today, but in about 5 days, the chances go up. Talk about that coming up.
742, welcome back, everyone. Government help given to some Missourians to make ends meet is now a major headache. Some have been warned their wages will be garnished for mistakes made through no fault of their own. 41 Action News started tracking the issues of overpayment to unemployed people last summer. Now, according to the department, this issue affected roughly 46,000 Missourians. The state estimates almost $150 million went out in overpayments, with $40 million of that coming from state unemployment funds. Another $100 $108 million came from federal unemployment funds. The average amount each Missourian who received an overpayment would have to pay back is roughly $3,200. Lawmakers hope to forgive the federal overpayments, but some are now receiving notices their wages will be garnished. 41 Action News reporter Emma James is working to get answers.
Trying to collect $14,000 from a struggling American during this moment in time, especially, is wrong.
Stephen Berg has been waiting in fear for the state to garnish his wages after receiving these notices. They say the Division of Employment Security filed a certificate of assessment in Cole County Circuit Court, which allows the agency to proceed with garnishment.
Berg isn't alone. A quick search through Missouri's court system shows hundreds of these certificates of assessment, which are filed against claimants who owe money in overpayments. I brought up the concern to State Representative Jay Eggleston, the sponsor of Bill 1083. He tells me the Department of Labor has committed to putting a pause on trying to get any federal money back right now.
Berg says that's news to him and likely the other claimants receiving these notices. If HB 1083 is signed into law, it'll allow claimants to keep federal money they received because of the agency's mistake.
There's almost a $10,000 difference if the federal portion of it is forgiven, which we hope that it will be.
Even if the bill becomes law, there will still be a few more steps. Claimants will have to apply for a waiver and be accepted.
That process scares me, because what if I omit an error when I apply for the waiver? You got to double charge me next time? I mean, when does it end?
The bill passed the House 157-3 Thursday. It now heads to the Senate.
I hear no negativity on the Senate side, so I assume that they will want to take this up as a priority as well, and hopefully we'll get some relief to the folks very soon.
Emma James reporting now. Missouri Governor Mike Parson says that a state law requires the collection of overpayments, which he won't override. He says he can't do a free blanket policy where everyone gets to keep the overpayments because of possible fraud. But he's open to making sure the hardworking people just trying to get through are not punished. 41 Action News also reached out to the Missouri Department of Labor with several questions regarding this issue, but so far we have not heard back.
Here's Kansas City's most accurate forecast from meteorologist Jeff Penner.
Good Saturday morning outside, not a cloud in the sky here. Absolutely beautiful shot of downtown Kansas City. It is 36 degrees, a south wind at 8. We'll add about 30 to this temperature, so we are well into the 60s, close to 70 degrees and not much wind. The Eat Outside Index for lunch and even an early dinner will get close to a 10. Now, yesterday we had some clouds from a storm system that dropped south and a few little sprinkly light rain showers, but nothing significant. And now we have a clear sky, a few clouds off to the east. The weather pattern across the United States is pretty quiet. Big ridge, an upper level ridge, and that usually means dry and above average temperatures in most times of year. This is a storm, and that is in the Gulf of Alaska. That is the beginning of a change, and I'll show you this here on a graphical form, the upper level flow. There's the storm in the Gulf of Alaska, and here is this big ridge in the middle part of the country, and today and tomorrow and Monday, it'll slowly move across. It'll flatten a little bit, but we're still under the influence of that, so it's going to be pretty nice. And then it's going to shift off to the east, and the storm system in the Gulf of Alaska will evolve and drop into the southwest United States, so that by Friday, there it is in the southwest United States. Our ridge is off into the southeast.